Alright, are we good? I think we're good. What's good, guys? Welcome to today's episode. My name is Motorman, and in this series we are building a Yamaha R3. It's not just going to be a regular R3 though, it's a super sport build. That's right, this bike is going to be completely turned into a track bike in this series. This is episode 2, so welcome to the series if this is the first time you've come to the channel. If you want to check out episode 1, it is above at the card. You can click and check that out. In episode 1, we were tearing the bike down. It was the first kind of episode just to see what I've bought. There was some big surprises with the airbox and stuff too, so if you haven't checked it out, make sure you do so. Now, this bike is going to be taken to all the tracks here in Thailand. The MotoGP circuit, Buriram, among others, is going to turn into a real good machine. I want to see how good this bike can really be as a track bike. But today's episode, we're going to keep going with the teardown. Going to take the tank off, have a look at the airbox, and among other things, and just really find out what we've got. Okay, so before we get into tearing the bike down even more than we did in the last episode, for all the proper fans out there, all the guys that left comments in the first episode talking about what I should do in terms of a compression check and also valve adjustments and everything else, all of you guys are awesome. I really do appreciate it, and I'm very thankful for all of you guys' comments. So yeah, let's get into it, and yeah, let's see a little bit more of what we have here. Clearly we can see that the bike is not the best condition. Like, there's a little bit of rust on the frame. It's not major, but it's definitely not like new. You know, there's a lot of plugs like that's just not actually connected to anything. It has been messed with, that's for sure. You know, it's different branded battery, different connectors in place all over, different colored stuff. I mean, yeah. So I mean, for now we'll take the tank off and just see where we kind of stand. You know, today's episode is definitely going to be a bit more of a taking more stuff off just to see what we've got. It's like my phrase for this R3 build: see what we've got, because obviously I don't know what we've got. So I don't think really anything has been not fucked with. These two major bolts here are like Phillips head screwdriver bolts, which I don't think they would have originally been, because I mean, that doesn't seem the most secure way to bolt this down, but I'm gonna see if I have the strength to undo it. So even though it seems that they're like a Phillips head and they've almost been kind of rounded off like in the middle, if you guys can actually make that out, I think I can get my socket on it. So let's have a look. Yes. This is definitely not the best looking screw. I mean, it's not even that long, you know. Okay, now we've got movement in the tank. This bike has most definitely been fucked with. If that's not clear already. It seems like every single bolt has been previously fucked with. So that was one of the first things on my list, to make sure everything's tight. I mean, I'm not even sure if I mentioned, but when I rode it to the house, this was coming loose. Like the rear step bolt was just coming out. Okay, so I've just discovered that there's no hoses right here. They're like, I don't know if, I think they're overflow hoses. I'm not sure if they're overflow hoses or ventilator hoses, but there are no hoses connected. I mean, this is why you take this bike apart. But there you go. Got it. And there's your fuel tank, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely a little bit finicky, but we're getting somewhere. Newbie mechanic right here, guys. Okay, so there we have it. The fuel tank is off. Let's have a little look at what surprises we are probably, let's face it, gonna find. Let's have a little look. So I put this down just to catch a bit of the fuel. Yeah, a bit of the fuel. See, it's still got a bit of fuel coming out from here, and then that's the electrical socket there. So we've got the pistons. See, now what I've noticed is there's this kind of like little self-cancelling little thing, and this whole plate here is for emissions. Now on the R3, there's a canister that goes here that's all for emissions, meant to be like non-waste, or I think some kind of emission type thing. I don't know how to explain it. It's like this big Coke can kind of canister, and it does route up here, I believe, to this, and they've just used this kind of plate, and then just, I think this is standard, but yeah, they've used this to just close it off there, which hopefully is okay. I'm not too sure. So then looking at the airbox, we have this whole section that they did this custom job on was to delete the snorkel. Obviously this side is more confusing. I think they probably made holes in it, realized it didn't help or something, and then glued it up because they didn't want to get a new airbox, maybe, I'm not too sure. But this side is the completely open bit, and I've just had it covered with a plastic bag. So yeah, I've ordered a whole new airbox. You know, we had the whole airbox ordeal in the first episode, got pretty explicit in that episode. But I've ordered the new airbox through a mechanic that I know that used to work at Yamaha, and he's a really nice guy, and he's going to come and check the valves for me, and also just give the bike a little rundown, because as far as it goes right now, the bike is obviously not in the best condition. There's a lot of stuff that's been changed. You know, like pretty much every freaking bolt you come across looks like it's been changed. So I'm gonna get my mate, the mechanic, to check the valves, and he's gonna bring the airbox, which I'll probably fit myself. We'll see. And this is the majority of today's episode, guys. Just kind of taking the tank off and seeing what else, any more surprises, seeing if there are any more surprises. I think we may have found all the surprises for today. Is it enough? I'm not too sure. So you can see it looks, I mean, it's dirty, isn't it? It's pretty dirty. You kind of see it's pretty dirty. There are the throttle bodies there. I don't know how bad it looks in general. I'm not too sure. One thing that I've actually noticed a second ago is, I mean, there's obviously rust and stuff here, which isn't good. But there's this odd connector here. I don't know if you guys can make it out. Right here. You see that connector? You guys make it out? I'm not sure if you guys can really see that. There's a connector that sits pretty freaking close to the shock itself, to the rear shock, so I'm not sure if that's normal. Some of these electrical connections have been messed with, you know, like most of them, I think, to be honest. Like, you've got a different battery in here, you've got random stuff like this. I don't think that's meant to be like that. I don't think this is meant to be like that, or this is meant to be like that. We mentioned this one before. So there's obviously a lot to do, but I think that's going to be enough for today's episode. I think I probably shot quite a lot of video already. So yeah, success on getting the tank off. Still waiting for the airbox, which my mechanic is going to bring, and he's going to check the valves, not me. Might ask him to do a compression test while he's at it, because he has all the tools. I don't have a compression test of my own. Not sure if I'd even want to do it. I mean, check the spark plugs in the next episode, maybe see if it's running lean or not. Again, thank you all for your comments that you guys left in the previous episode. It's huge help. Yeah, it's all fun, man. I wanted to learn this kind of stuff anyway, you know, what to do in a scenario where the bike looks like an absolute mess. I don't really mind, because I got the bike for a really cheap price. As long as the engine's okay, which hopefully it is, and my mechanic will tell me, hopefully not too long. Hopefully he's actually not based in Chiang Mai, but he's coming to Chiang Mai soon, so hopefully he can sort it out. That's it for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed the R3 build episode 2. Episode 3 should be here next week. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends about this playlist. That's another thing. There's a playlist above now of the R3 build, super sport build. This is episode 2. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and staying for this long, and I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Motorman out. Outro, fam. I guess you always kind of get what you pay for, right? I mean, the story of life. You get what you pay for. You know, I'm kind of happy to do all this stuff to it. I just hope that the engine's cool. That might be a little bit too much to hope for. What do you guys think of this bike, man? Is it really bad? Let me know. I mean, I know you guys have been so helpful so far already in our last episode, but seeing the new stuff we've seen today with all the tank off and everything, I don't know. I don't even know what to think anymore, but I'm pretty happy to like just go through a bike myself. Like, I wouldn't want to do this to my MT-09 because my MT-09 is just too flash and expensive. Emphasis on the word flash. Thanks for staying to the end, guys. See you in the next episode.